It was a lazy Tuesday afternoon on Maple Lane, the kind where kids chase each other on bikes and retirees walk their dogs under the shade of old oaks. I was parked in my patrol car, sipping lukewarm coffee, when a silver Lexus SUV tore through the 25 miles per hour zone like it was auditioning for a car chase MOVY. The radar clocked it at 46 and almost double the limit. With kids and pets scattered along the street, that kind of speed wasn't just reckless. It was a disaster waiting to happen. I flicked on my lights, pulled out, and tailed the SUV, expecting a routine stop. Boy, was I wrong. The Lexus didn't slow down at first. Instead, it gunned it for another block before screeching to a sloppy halt, one while kissing the curb. Before I could even unbuckle, the driver's door flew open, and out stepped a woman in her late 50s, all sharp cheekbones, a sleek brunette bob, and sunglasses that probably cost more than my monthly rent. She was VYing her arms like she was directing traffic at rush hour. "What do you think you're doing?" she yelled, her voice cutting through the quiet street like a knife. "Do you have any idea who I am? I'm in a hurry, and I don't have time for this garbage." I stepped out, keeping my cool. 7 years on the force. You learn to deal with hotheads. "Good afternoon, ma'am," I said, steady as ever. "I'm Officer Daniel Carter with the Maple Lane Police Department. I need your license and registration." You were going 46 and a 25. Her face twisted like I'd just insulted her entire family. She sized me up, lips pursed tight, and crossed her arms. "Officer Carter," she spat, dragging out my last name like it was a curse. "I'm Linda Carver, president of the Maple Grove HOA. Maybe you're new around here and don't get how things work." I was DRIVYing at a perfectly reasonable speed for someone like me. "I have a critical meeting to get to." Linda Carver. The name hit me like a brick. Our department knew her well too well. She was the queen of petty complaints, the kind of person who'd call 911 over a neighbor's mailbox being an inch too tall or a lawn not mowed to her exact standards. One time, she reported a family for painting their fence an unapproved shade of taupe. But no matter how many neighbors she terrorized, nothing stuck. She always had a friend in high places, some councilman or judge would make her problems vanish. I kept my face neutral. "Ma'am, your HOA title doesn't change traffic laws. License and registration, please." She didn't budge, just glared at me like I was dirt on her designer shoes. A couple of dog walkers slowed down, eyeing the scene, and Linda noticed. Her voice shot up an octave. "This is outrageous. I'm being harassed in my own neighborhood," she shouted, loud enough to wake half the block. "You people always go after law-abiding citizens while letting thugs run free. I pay your salary, you know." She finally dug into her purse, yanking out her wallet with a huff. "I'm close with Chief Daniels. We dine with the mayor every month. You're making a huge mistake." Her hand shook not from fear, but pure rage as she shoved her license at me. "I don't have all day," she hissed. "Unlike some, I have real responsibilities." I took her ID back to my car to run it, glancing in the rear VYEW as she pulled out her phone and started ranting to someone. Through my open window, I caught bits of it. "You won't believe this. Some nobody cop pulled me over in our neighborhood. Can you imagine? Probably jealous of my Lexus." Her words turned uglier, laced with slurs I won't repeat, but they stung. I focused on the computer. Sure enough, Linda had 3 speeding tickets in 2 years, all magically reduced or tossed out. By now, more neighbors had gathered. Mrs. Thompson, who'd filed complaints about Linda finding her for a tacky birdbath, was among them, phone in hand. I walked back to Linda's car, where she was now filming me. "I'm recording this harassment," she announced, smirking. "My husband's law firm will bury you. You'll be flipping burgers by Friday." I stayed calm. "Mrs. Carver, you have 3 prior speeding violations. Given your speed today and your record, I'm citing you for reckless DRIVYing. This is serious points on your license and hefty fines." Her smirk vanished. "Zeklet drivine." "That's absurd," she shrieked, pointing a manicured finger at me. "You're targeting me because I'm a successful woman in a nice car. If I were one of your kind, you'd let me go. This is reverse discrimination." The crowd gasped. Mrs. Thompson's jaw dropped, and her husband started recording too. Linda, oblivious to the phones pointed at her, kept going. I demand your super VY soar right now. Then, in a move that stunned everyone, she snatched the citation from my hand, ripped it to shreds, and tossed the pieces at my feet. I'm not accepting this. You're just a glorified mall cop with a grudge. Things spiraled fast. Linda jumped back in her Lexus and turned the key. I don't have time for this nonsense. I have an HOA meeting to run, she snapped, shifting into drive while I was still by her window. I stepped in front of her car, hand up. Mrs. Carver, turn off the engine. You're not free to leave. This is now interfering with an officer and attempting to flee. My voice was firm, no room for debate. Her eyes widened, but she sneered. Move, or I'll report you for threatening me. Do you know how easy it'd be to get you fired? I grabbed my radio. Dispatch, this is Carter. Need backup at Maple Lane and Oak Street. Driver's combative and trying to flee. Linda's face turned beet red. She slammed her hand on the horn, letting it blare like a tantrum. You're making a scene, Mrs. Carver, I warned. Step out of the vehicle. She kept honking, shouting slurs and insults through her cracked window. The neighbors looked horrified, some still filming. 2 minutes later, Officer Jenkins rolled up. Linda stopped honking, smoothing her blouse and fixing her hair like she could charm her way out. Too late. What's the deal, Carter? Jenkins asked, eyeing the torn citation on the ground. Mrs. Carver was doing 46 in a 25. She got combative, destroyed the citation, tried to drive off, and used racial slurs and threats. Jenkins, who dealt with Linda's 911 calls about gaudy Christmas lights, gave her a hard look. Ma'am, step out. Linda's tune changed. This is a misunderstanding, she cooed. I was upset. Surely we can sort this out. My husband golfs with Judge Larson. Jenkins wasn't buying it. Out. Now. Grumbling, she stepped onto the pavement, legs wobbly. I'm not a criminal, she insisted. I keep this neighborhood's property value sky high. You should thank me. I read her rights as Jenkins cuffed her. Linda Carver, you're under arrest for reckless DRIVYing, attempting to flee and interfering with an officer. The cuffs clicked, and her defiance crumbled. You can't do this, she whispered, voice breaking. What about my reputation? The HOA meeting's in 30 minutes. Tears streaked her mascara. I didn't mean those things. It was a bad day. We all say stuff we regret, right? As we led her to the patrol car, her heels clicking unevenly, the neighbors watched in silence. Mr. Hayes, fined due law 200 for a non-compliant porch planter, smirked openly. This is a mistake, Linda called to the crowd. Tell them who I am. Tell them what I've done for this place. Nobody said a word. Years of her petty tyranny finding gnomes, harassing families had burned every bridge. 3 months later, I testified at her hearing. The judge, no golf buddy of her husband's, watched my body cam footage, the neighbor's VY Deos, and read my report. Linda sat quietly, a shell of the HOA tyrant who'd tried to bully me. Guilty on all counts. She got a due lot $3,000 fine, 100 hours of community SARE VYC, mandatory anger management, racial sensitive VY tie training, and a 6-month license suspension. Worst of all for her, the judge noted her BHA VY, or sparked an investigation into her HOA reign. She was booted from the board, her little empire of rules and fines gone. As the gavel fell, Linda stood, trembling. Your Honor, without me, this neighborhood will collapse. Property values will tank. Who'll enforce the rules? The judge didn't blink. Maple Lane, it seemed, was ready to move on without her.